everyone, welcome back. So I'm doing a question and answer video, and since it's gonna be long, I'm gonna go ahead and get started. I might split this up into 2 parts, we'll see. I posted on my Instagram channel. You guys can ask me any question you want. I don't know if I'm gonna answer them all, but I'm gonna try and answer all the questions. I have a few other question and answer videos. I don't know, this is just in case you want to get to know me. So I'm gonna get started and answer some of the questions that you guys asked me on Instagram. First question is, how many hours a week do you dedicate to YouTube? I would say I dedicate about, I don't know, 30 or 40 hours, honestly, because it's and it varies each week depending on what's coming up. If I have things that are already pre-filmed for that week, some weeks it's less. Also, it just depends what video it is. Some videos take longer to film and edit than others. That's all broken up. It's like broken up throughout the week. It's probably actually more hours than that, just dedicated to posting things, and I don't know. It's a lot of hours, but I make it work. I find time to do stuff throughout the day, little stuff here and there. So that's about how many hours. What is my sign? My sign is a Taurus. I was born in May. My favorite makeup brand, that's a tough one. I would say probably my heart belongs to MAC. So what program do I use to edit my videos? I use iMovie. I've tried to use Final Cut Pro and I'm just like not there yet. So I need to fool around with that more, but I use iMovie. Okay, another question is, what career path would you have taken if you not discovered YouTube? Well, I was a teacher for children with autism. I have a major in special ed and general education, so I have the ability to teach in general education or in special education. My heart is with special ed. It has been since I was young. I've been, you know, volunteering and doing things within the special ed realm ever since I could remember. So when I moved to Texas, the opportunity came to be a teacher in an all-inclusive room with children with autism, and my heart really just was led to do autism. So that's still where my heart is. Eventually, one day I'll go back. I decided to take off when I had kids. My husband and I planned for that, for me to be able to take off. So, and then I kind of just discovered YouTube. So if I wasn't doing YouTube, I would probably be back to work at this point. I'm not quite sure, but that's what I would be doing if that was my career path. I was a special ed teacher. If I could be a man for a day, what kind of things would I be up to? Probably playing with my ding-a-ling. I don't know, like I'd just be like, what is this thing? How does it work? Let me try and see if I can give myself blue balls, because you know, you ladies know what I'm talking about. You know what I'm talking about? They're always like, oh, you can give me blue balls. And you're like, is that real? Is that real? Or are you just saying that? So I'd probably actually try and give myself blue balls just to see if it's real. How do you stay so productive with general life and YouTube? Productive? Man, I just don't slow down though. Well, that's a lie. I take naps sometimes, I really do. But with my kids, I really don't have an opportunity to slow down. I have 3 kids, and they're 3 girls. They're very like, hello, we're right here, pay attention to us. So I'm always busy doing that, or cooking dinner, or doing something. So keeping up with my friends, spending time with my husband. I'm part of the twins group in my town. So there's really a lot of kind of stuff that I'm involved in. I go out to dinner with some friends. I try and have a life as well as being a mother and do both things, because I found when I first had my twins, you feel very secluded. Like you feel very much at home talking to yourself. Babies don't talk, so you're like, ah! So I really tried to plug myself in early when I had twins. So yeah, that's how I find myself productive. I just got a lot of stuff to do. I do have someone asked if they'd said they'd like to see a one-brand tutorial. I do have several one-brand tutorials on my channel because they asked if I have ever done that. Someone asked what my husband does for a job. I'm probably not going to tell you guys that, because yeah, that's just like for security reasons and stuff. How did you two meet? We met working at a summer camp. He just happened to be there. We were really young. I think we were 20, and we were working at a summer camp with special needs kids, honestly. That's not what field he's in, but he was taking a summer off, and like I said, we were 20, so his friend worked there, and he said, hey, come along with me. So I met him there and fell in love because he was reading Dr. Seuss to a little boy with cerebral palsy, and I was like, my heart be still. What did I want to be growing up? Honestly, I always wanted to be a special ed teacher. I said that, but I did also want to do something in the makeup industry. Something, because since I was young, I've always had like this, my mom always is like, why do you need 37 shampoos in the shower? You only wash your hair once. Like, why do you need all this shampoo? And I'm like, Mom, I like to have a different shampoo. They all do different things. Like, lay off me. lay off me, I'm starving kind of thing. I love trying different things. So if, I guess, a tester, I'd like to be a tester, which is what I'm doing right now, beauty products. How is my weight loss going? It's going. It's going slowly, but it's going. I did an Advocare thing, and then now I'm back on doing Weight Watchers again. I will do an updated video if you guys want. I'm kind of just trying to do it right now, and I mean, there's really not much to update. I lost 12 pounds doing the Advocare thing, but I really just need to keep going. Then I will do an update video for you guys. What's my favorite thing to cook? I really like to cook a bunch of different things. Probably my favorite thing, I like to cook lasagna. I really like cooking lasagna. I just like layering it and adding different things into the lasagna because I think it's a very forgiving dish. You can really add a lot into it, so I like lasagna. How old was I when I got married? 22? And yeah, I'm almost 33, so we've been married a long time. Melissa from LMPHS says, how much do you love me? Tons and tons and tons and tons. How many children do you have and how old are they? I have 3 children. I'm not gonna say their ages, but they're all under 10. They're way younger than that. But I have 3 children and they're all girls. The oldest are the set of twins, and then I have a younger little girl. And you guys, it kills me because they're seriously precious and they're my life. And so it really does kill me. It kills me to not be able to like show you guys how adorable they are and the funny things that they say. So I'm like obsessed with them. But yes, favorite soda, root beer, like through and through. Barks, because it has bite, you know. Someone asked, why do you never talk about or show your kids? That was just a privacy thing. I'm like a really protective mama bear. I've talked about it a lot on my channel, that I'm really protective. I can handle what anyone says to me. My kids, my husband, those are really private things to me. I feel like that's just like my full stop. Like, I'm just like, no, if I did show my kids and I felt like people were saying different things about parenting or anything like that, I have no business wanting to talk about parenting. I don't like to get into that discussion, especially with the whole internet. There's so many different opinions, and I feel like I don't want the opinion of everyone to come into my parenting. I can take your opinions about makeup and all that, but as far as parenting, I think that's something between, you know, your spouse and you. And so I want to protect them, and I can't handle that. So that is why I don't show my kids. I'm protective. That's the reason. What are some of my worst makeup mistakes? I would say eyebrow mistakes. They look like little sperms or like little hockey puck eyebrows, and they were super far apart. I'm talking miles and miles, and they were like lopsided, then they were really bushy. I don't even know. I can't even tell you. Maybe if I find a picture, I'll insert it, but I've had some eyebrow problems. Also, I used to wear silver eyeshadow from like lid to brow bone. Yes, I did. And I feel like some people should do their time. What's that like meme that is around? It's like, now you see girls with like all perfect makeup and stuff. It's like, no, do your time. You need to be wearing silver eyeshadow from lid to whatever, or whatever the trend is. You need to do that before you can be good. My favorite videos to film, probably my favorites, and I don't really like filming hauls actually. I do like filming hauls. I do. That's a lie. I do like filming hauls. I actually like filming my empties videos, but I don't love watching other people's empties videos. Is that weird? It says, also, is your nickname Lola? Yes, my name is Laura, but when I was in college, I started to go by Lola. It just kind of stuck around. My nieces and nephews all called me Aunt Lola or Aunt Lolo, and so it just was like something that stuck. And when I started my channel, I wasn't really thinking I was gonna start a channel. I just created a name, and that's kind of how that happened. What was I like in high school? How have I changed? This is an interesting question. I was probably a lot of the same person. I've always been like kind of loud. I've always had like a lot of different friend groups. I pretty much like to say I could be friends with anyone. I was never really like an exclusive person like that. I wasn't part of one singular friend group. It was like a bunch of different friend groups. I think what has changed for me is there were people that I let in my life that would walk all over me or say things that were mean, and I always make excuses for people who have bad behavior because they had a rough life or they had something rough in their life, and I always make excuses excuses for people. And I think that the thing that has changed is when I got out of high school, I stopped doing that for a long time. I like really stood up for myself and really just would say what was on my mind. A lot of times people know me for I'll say anything, basically. And then I kind of slipped back into a little bit of letting people making excuses for other people's bad behavior. And now I'm coming back around to just being like, no, you can't say those things, you can't act like that, you can't do that kind of thing, and if you do, I'm out. So I think that that's it. And I think like with age, you kind of are like that. You just change the way, what things you're willing to tolerate, really. So I would say that's the only thing that has changed. That and like probably like 50 pounds. Okay, who's my favorite Texas mommy of boys? Well, that was from Ashley, which her channel is TX Mommy of Boys. I love you, Ashley. You and boy, my other friend Dana has boys, and she's in Texas and she has a boy. So I would say you too, but you have boys, plural, so you. What advice would you give to someone who is starting a channel but has a lot of insecurities? I would say just start your channel. Honestly, you don't get a lot of criticism till later. My advice is film the type of videos that you like to see, because those are what are going to make you the most comfortable. So when you're talking to the camera and you're just getting comfortable, just film the videos you like watching. Watch so many of them, you kind of know like how they go, and so you're a little bit more relaxed. I think it took me quite a while to be really relaxed. How do I balance being a mom and a YouTube personality? Like, is it hard to stay grounded as a mom? No, it's not, because being a mom is my priority always, and it's something, honestly, like, I guess the question of what did I want to be when I grew up, it was a mom. Like, it was a mom. I wanted to just have a lot of kids and be a mom, so I'm not saying it's not hard. I'm not saying I don't have those days where I'm like, you know, or I'm like locking myself in the bathroom. I'm like, can I not just take a dump alone? Like, you know, there's just things that happen with motherhood, but overall, I love being a mom, and that is my priority. So when it comes to balancing it, I found that if YouTube starts taking over more of like my time with my kids, then I back off of YouTube. So my dream vacation is Hawaii or Fiji. I'm a simple girl, man. Even though Hawaii is not that simple, but I want to go to Hawaii. I really do. Like, take me to Hawaii. My favorite place to shop for clothes, kids stuff, and home things, probably Target, TJ Maxx. How do you think moms should approach health and wellness with little girls, especially with how the world portrays women and body image? This is a great question. I'm not going to go too much into it because I think a lot of people have a lot of different opinions. I'll tell you what I do personally, not what I think everyone else should do, but what I do personally is I never talk about body issues or feeling uncomfortable or how I look in front of my kids. So they do see me putting on makeup occasionally, but we kind of talk about that you don't need to have makeup to be beautiful. Makeup is just a form of art, just like drawing is, that kind of thing. So they really know that, and I honestly don't wear makeup a ton when I'm just sitting around the house. I really don't. So they don't always see me like that. So I think in that aspect, I just have expressed to them, you need to love yourself, you need to appreciate where you're at, and always be working to be healthy. I am working to get my body back after kids. It's a long journey, and I just encourage other mothers to consider never talking about themselves or putting themselves down, because little ears definitely hear that kind of thing. So my mom never did that to me, ever. She never talked about her weight, never talked about her body, and not liking it and not appreciating it. One thing I do is my girls look at my stretch marks and they ask me like, what are those? And I'm like, those are my stretch marks. They came from when I carried you in my tummy. And they're like, oh, I don't know if I want that to happen. I'm like, no. Although those may look like that to you, to me, my stretch marks mean thank you, Jesus, for allowing me to carry a baby. I tell them all the time, I'm so grateful to have carried you and to have been able to, you know, have you guys, and those are like my trophies. So, how do I deal with negativity? Some days it's harder than others. I think the hardest thing is it's like sometimes when you hear something, you want to defend yourself, but you realize that to defend yourself isn't worth it to someone who's invested in seeing you the wrong way. So if there's like, and I've learned on YouTube that there is one thing that I can say and someone can create a story out of it that goes on and on and on, and it's like, really? Really? From that one thing? And then I think to myself, like, do they not watch or know or understand people that you would get, like, it just surprises me that the conclusions that people can jump to that just don't seem like logical. So I've learned that there is anything that anyone can take from a video and like stew it into something else or leave a comment below that is something else. And yeah, I have to learn to just read it, delete it, and not respond if it's super negative. Now, if it's constructive criticism, I feel like I can absorb that and change because I want to have a channel that people want to watch. So that's kind of how I deal with that. My favorite comfort food is pizza. I really love pizza. So that's one of my favorite comfort food. My favorite comfort movie, I would say I really like Beaches and Steel Magnolias, but if I'm gonna like sit down and feel comfort, I really watch like the Sex and the City series. I know that's crazy, but those girls, like, I feel like I'm one of them. I don't know, I just like watching it. So that's kind of what makes me like decompress. I also watch Dateline to relax. I know that's like weird and creepy, but Keith Morrison's voice puts me like right to sleep, like a lullaby. Okay, so I'm gonna cut it off right here and I'm going to go on and film part 2. So if you're interested in part 2, keep a lookout for that. Thank you guys so much for watching and I'll see you all in the next video. Mwah.